I think the matchup is a little bit worse for Martin, and it's certainly a lot different. The disruption tools that Matt presents is just much different than his previous opponent. So
yeah, they feel like similar decks, but they're actually doing different things to get through the game.
And I get the feeling that Matt is a real junk aficionado, because I was birding him during my break, and he had a bunch of beta bayous and scrublands, and one does not simply acquire beta bayous and scrublands unless you really like casting Thoughtseize and Neither Reliquary in the same deck.
I love watching pretty cards.
Yep.
So this should be an enjoyable experience for me.
Yes, this is going to be nice.
So
tie plus beta duels is a sign of a man who came here to do business.
Don't forget the sideburns as well.
Yeah. The whole thing is this guy is here to do. This is not casual.
No,
this is
I dig
business.
it. I dig it.
Yeah.
And he's clearly been winning.
Yeah.
So.
Martin demonstrating a slightly more casual tone, fashion-wise, than Martin is bringing to the table here.
With his
white
get out of bed, hair.
Yeah.
The Ted Mosby.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you. So it was Mr. Robert.
I think he was making fun of you for mispronouncing his first name.
I don't think so at all. He says thank you. Mr. Robert says thanks. It's a pretty complicated name. And Mr. Robert, you are welcome. I try to do my job to the best of my ability.
I know that sarcasm is difficult to detect in the digital space, but even by those standards, I do not believe that is a serious compliment.
To each their own.
All right.
Great thing about life is everyone's allowed to have their own opinion.
Yep.
And you certainly have yours.
Yep. All right, so who was our higher seed in this one?
I don't know, you tell me.
Looks like Matt actually finished the Swiss rounds in first.
What a master.
Yeah.
This is no joke.
Yeah, this guy is here to just do business, do work. Matt Pavlic doing work.
I think he's done. He's here to complete work.
Yeah, a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah, it's almost time to punch out after these next two rounds. Give me my trophy. Let me get out of here. Matt taking a look. Is he going to keep his 7?
Yep.
Martin making sure that Matt is going to play first, and indeed he is.
Okay. And Martin is going to be taking a mulligan here.
Little trip to Paris. Down to 6 we go. Where he stops, nobody knows.
So what are your thoughts on these junk style decks? I mean, there's a couple of them. There's derivatives of this sort of strategy all over the place. You know, like Dead Guy Ale is in this space. Team Italia, the red, black, white Highlander masterpiece advocated by Gerard Fabiano, is a similar deck. Where do you think these decks sort of land in the metagame puzzle?
Interesting decks because there are so many cards that these decks can potentially play. They have so many available cards. There's a million different types of removal spells. There's a bunch of discard. You know, you can play Hymn to Torak, and he's choosing not to. You can play a million different creatures as well, and you know it's difficult to find the exact perfect 60 or even the exact perfect 75 to be able to build such a deck. I think the deck is good. I think it's powerful. I think it's a good proactive strategy, but there are definitely cards that outclass it.
Yep. And
that's the issue, is that it's very easy to outclass this deck with a card like Jace the Mind Sculptor, Sensei's Divine Top plus Counterbalance, stuff like that. There are other strategies that outclass it, and you can make the argument the deck plays relatively fair. And you know, is this fair strategy better than a Maverick one? That's a good question.
Yep.
So we see Verdant Catacombs here being sacked, as we do see those beta lands.
Yep.
Oof.
You're going to get a Bayou. I'm going to start off here with a Thoughtseize. And that's just going to meet a Force of Will. Wasteland on the tropical island is going to be met with a brainstorm.
Martin considering his options here.
Again, he has to worry about a follow-up Thoughtseize or Inquisition potentially, so not a simple decision.
Thank you. You see a Deathrite Shaman here from Matt, and okay, so he just Wasteland a couple turns, so lands are perfectly fine here.
Yeah. You're seeing a lot of the attrition elements of junk already at work here. Martin being pinned on both mana and cards.
Now, an interesting question came up on Twitter about why can't you abrupt decay a Parasitic Strix in between the Allure combo. And so if going off correctly, once you have all the Imperial Recruiters in play, both Dreamstalkers and Cavern Harpy and Parasitic Strix in your hand, what you do is you play Parasitic Strix, you leave it on the stack, and you play Cavern Harpy. Okay? And then once you, with Parasitic Strix still on the stack, Cavern Harpy comes into play, it returns a Dreamstalker, and then Harpy's getting your resolve, Dreamstalker's back in your hand, Parasitic Strix is already on the stack, it comes into play. The effect happens, you have Dreamstalker to protect from a removal spell.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, then you can pay the one to pick it up, to pick up the Harpy, gate with the Strix, bring the Strix back into play, and then you have Dreamstalker in your hand to always protect the Strix. To always protect the Strix from being killed.
Yeah, additionally, he was at a high enough life total where he could have just picked up his Dreamstalkers. Dreamstalker his Recruiters back. Recruiter for both Venser and Eternal Witness. Venser the Deathrite Shaman, Eternal Witness the Strix, and roll back.
Yeah. Now, the only issue with Venser is that you can't actually play it for free off of Allure.
Sure.
That's the only thing. As we saw Cabal Therapy name Knight of the Reliquary.
And miss. So.
But you are able to protect yourself in such a way
Yeah.
that they can't actually break it up because you'll have the Dreamstalkers in your hand. So target removal, again, will not work.
Yeah. He might have shortcut there, but if he's actually being...
Yeah, if he's playing perfect, if the opponent's tapped out, then there's nothing they can do, of course. But if they do have a bunch of mana available and removal spells, you can still beat that with that particular sequencing.
Yeah. So we're going to get a Savannah. I imagine this will be Dark. Dark Common versus Tarmogoyf is actually pretty close here. This doesn't have a lot of draws that are meaningful, and the clock. Speaking of the clock, matters a lot, but we're going to go with Bob.
And look at the Deathrite Shaman getting in there. And you see the max hand doesn't really have a ton. We see a Volrash Stronghold.
That's what you get for getting greedy. Oh, jeez.
So
There's a Thoughtseize, and this is sort of demonstrating junk at its peak powers. What's happening right now? It's like there's a clock, there's disruption. If Matt ever needed to attack the graveyard, he would have the ability to do that.
Yep. We see an attack here for 2. Deathrite Shaman just giving the deck a completely different angle. Again, if the graveyard does need to be attacked, Volrash Stronghold looking pretty poor here, as we see a Thoughtseize. Martin going, hey man, I got good cards. I just can't cast any of them.
I guess you're supposed to take a learn here because you have Inquisitions in your deck, so you'd rather strand him with a 3.
Yeah, almost positively. I mean, even if he does draw the third land for Intuition, what is he going to Intuition for? Is the question.
Yeah,
and he is just going to take Intuition, because I guess, he is farther away.
Yeah.
You see a Tarmogoyf here.
Yeah, I think either's fine. I think I would err on the side of just making your Inquisition a live draw next turn if he misses a land drop, because it's all roughly the same, I think, but...
Now, if I'm Matt there, I think I would have Thoughtseized first, because now he's left his Deathrite Shaman. It did not attack.
Yeah.
It's not really doing anything right now, so you'll have perfect information.
Okay.
Let's see if Verdant Catacombs off the top. So Martin still under some pressure here. Tarmogoyf is a 3. Dark Confidant is a 4 and a 5. So it looks like Martin is close to a 3-turn clock here.
The other argument also for Thoughtseizing the a lure in there would be to make your Goyf bigger, because
Sure.
it would get an enchantment in the graveyard.
Now, your counter argument is he did just draw an Inquisition of Kozilek.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it doesn't matter because Martin ripped a third land here, but it's,
okay, yeah, good point.
possible that he couldn't have, and then this Inquisition would be tagging an Intuition, and the Alluring would be in the graveyard.
Sure.
But these are very small things in the scheme of things, because I don't think Martin can win this in time.
And here comes these guys. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, it's unlikely. It's going to start with having to be a land, and it looks like a red card. No, like a taxing probe. Ouch.
Okay. Try again.
Oh, that doesn't feel good. Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go.
Coiling Oracle's here. It's here and it's ready to win.
Oh yeah. So is Volrath Stronghold in the deck just to get you out of certain, like just another utility land, get you out of specific jams, or is it just like the colored mana can support this, and so?
Like the colored mana can support it. It does get you out of jams. There are games that do go long. Martin does have like a Life from the Loam in his deck as well, so there are definitely games that do go relatively long with this deck where you can really grind them down. Also, if they make you discard like one of your creature cards, you can just Volrath it back.
Yeah.
And go off that way. So
It's more insurance against like both your Dream Stalkers randomly getting tagged or something, something along those lines.
yeah, it's as we see.
Dang.
Yeah, ding-a-ling indeed.
It'll play.
Still think he maybe.
I assume he's.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. going through the theatrics for us. But Matt Pavlic up a game here with his junk deck. We are going to cut back to the booth for you guys. It is time to give away 6 months of premium, and I will be butchering no names now and asking no poor questions. That's your job.
That is my job. All right. So far in the top 8 and the top 4, both of Martin's opponents have played a new rare hybrid creature from Return to Ravnica.
They sure have.
2 different decks, entirely different decks. For 6 months of premium, hashtag SCG premium, and name that creature. Hybrid rare from Return to Ravnica. Featured in both the top 8 and top 4 decks of Martin's opponents.
All right, hashtag SCG premium. We'll give away 6 months premium, and Patrick will announce the name, not me. I promise. I'm not good at that. Talking hard.
Sorry.
Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
That's his name. First name could be anything.
So, sideboard time.
I have Martin. I have him down a game. He's going to play first. And that might be. Is this another matchup to bring Thoughtseize in? Do you think this is?
No, I don't. I mean, Matt's reactive elements are all spells he can just kind of cast when he draws them. He's not going to be sitting on Force of Wills and counter spells. So bringing in Thoughtseize to attack other Thoughtseizes is a lot more dubious to me than bringing in Thoughtseizes to attack Force of Will and counterspell.
Okay. I mean, there are Go Through the Throat, 2 copies of that. There's 2 Fire Spouts. None of those are really all that impressive. Fire Spout's okay.
Yeah, I feel like a Fire Spout just fine here.
Yeah, can do some cleanup duty. He also can play the red end off of it because of the Tigers in his deck.
Yeah, we also saw him. I saw him. He actually brought the card in against his Death and Taxes opponent that we had on camera in round 3.
Okay.
He was fanning through his deck at one point and saw it. So I assume that if he was one to bring in against that deck, this deck's probably similar enough.
The other cards that you see here are just bullets that he can search for with Imperial Recruiter. Yixid Jailer, not so much. Aethersworn Cannon, it's no thanks. Peacekeeper, it's okay actually, surprisingly enough. Harmonic Sliver, not so much. Lanawan and Kataki, those are very matchup specific for Merfolk and Affinity, and don't want those either. So, and then Supreme Verdict, no.
No.
Just no.
Okay, over here we have 3 copies of Hymn-to-Torak in the sideboard, and 2 copies of Gedokti, both which seem...
Those are nice.
Those are nice.
Those are nice.
Those are nice ones. 3 copies of Surgical Extraction. This card basically is a very clean answer to Intuition, but does not do very much else. So a lot of it just depends on how many dead slots are in Matt's deck. Now he has Garrick Relentless, and Abrupt Decay and Maelstrom Pulse, all of which are not especially effective here. And so it wouldn't surprise me to see him bring in a couple of Surgical Extractions because they have some potential to break up the combo, and those removal spells don't really line up correctly. He's got 4 plows too. I mean, he has a lot of creature removal he has to cut here.
Okay. So, That's pretty simple breakdown of what's going to be going on in these sideboarded games. I do think that this one favors Matt a little bit more than the particular last matchup, just because, again, being proactive with the discard and the clock.
He won on turn 5, and he cast 2 Thoughtseize. That's a much better recipe than sitting with a bunch of counter spells in your hand and trying to win on turn 12.
Yeah.
Because this deck needs, the Alluring deck needs very little setup to actually go ahead and kill someone.
Sure.
So, yeah, like we said before the match started, this seems Matt's strategy, even though he doesn't have Force of Will, which is considered the preeminent combo starter in Legacy, I think his deck has a much more well-rounded game for the matchup.
I'm inclined to agree.
And his draw that game was also excellent. Thoughtseize into Confidant with a Wasteland, and I mean, just a lot of different elements that keep Martin off balance.
Yeah.
And his Cabal Therapy Thoughtseize package that Martin can produce is much less effective against Matt's Disruption than it was against Force of Will, Counterspell, Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm guy.
The old Flusterstorm.
The old Flusterstorm. That old chestnut. Yeah. I like a guy who's just looks like he's ready for business, sawing through a tournament like this.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I used to jam some suits and such at Pro Tours.
Yeah, your top 8, you were suited up, right?
Yeah. Feels good. To cut people up while looking good. Feels good.
Yep.
Something about it. I didn't cut up anyone after that, which is unfortunate. Kind of a one-time gig, but
Yep. That's better than speaking from experience. It seems better than a 0-time gig. You know?
touche. Touche.
Yeah. Yeah, I've suited up for most of my events, but it's track suited up.
Yeah.
Not suited
Your
up.
finest Clippers gear. We're going to see Martin on the play this game, both players just chatting back and forth a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, Martin especially has looked like on camera like he's had a blast the whole tournament.
Yeah. I mean, Legacy's a great, it's a fun format. It's a blast to play. I mean, he's playing a deck that he enjoys playing. It's a lot of fun. It's unique, and he's having success with it. So how could he not be having fun?
Playing a deck where you go through the tournament and your opponents are regularly reading cards that you cast is a fun experience.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm really into that.
Yep.
What do people read for you when you play? What burn spell gets read the most? It's probably Flame Rift, right?
Flame Rift is really high on the list of getting read. At the Invitational in Baltimore and in Atlanta, Walking Corpse actually got read multiple times, which is hilarious because he has no rules text.
Oh, he's got a story to tell.
He's just a talker.
Yeah.
He's a chatty Cathy. So, yeah, those cards get read a lot. Stigma Lasher, Vexing Shusher gets read a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And usually when they're reading it, they're like, "Oh man, this is really bad."
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's like, it's bad, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my style.
Yeah. Yeah. Shuffle, 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 sandwich. Do we have any reports from the other match by chance? We can see exactly if High Tide is doing it.
Let's go Rug.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it.
Wow. I know what side I'm on. Game 1, Feline is attempting to combo, so take that. I checked before, and it is pronounced Feline.
Yep.
Rug fighting back. Putting its dukes up.
All right, Martin taking a mulligan. Although the Time Spiral deck is attempting to combo does not give a ton of information, as it is, like, yes, by definition, that is what it is trying to do.
Yeah.
So
May or may not get there.
it does not illuminate very much.
Yeah. It could be doing it.
Sorry for being annoying. Oh, okay. It says candelabras are tapping, which means we
Is that good?
can be good.
Yeah, it could be. It could be real
Depends
good.
if we've resolved a high tide or not.
So it looks like Martin is going down to 5.
And this is with Matt presumably having cited him to Torak in.
Yeah.
So, there's that too.
This could be an uphill battle here.
Yeah.
And while we are shuffling through this game, I want to give a shout out, if you don't mind, Patrick.
Go ahead.
I'd like to shout out to Jerry Thompson.
Yes.
Congratulations on a fine finish this weekend, making top 8 of Grand Prix Charleston. My good friend with his blue-white flash deck. Congratulations to you, GT. I know some players also Lost playing for top 8. Brad Nelson just missed out. Ali Antrazi, his 5-color door to nothingness deck.
That, I mean,
Right up Ali's, right in his wheelhouse.
right.
Just missed it, making top 8 this weekend.
Reed Duke made a deep run, right?
Yeah, Reed Duke also made it playing Band Control. So from Star City players and writers, having a nice weekend over in Charleston.
Yeah. Masterful human beings as well. So congratulations to you, gentlemen. Jerry especially.
Jerry needed a nice little good tournament.
He's due, man.
Yeah. The only thing I've got over him is my Pro Tour top 8. I don't ever beat him. He wins way more than me because he's a million times better than me. But anytime we have the conversation, I can just drop that bomb.
Sure.
And you can tell me how lucky I got, and I can tell him how right he is.
All right, looks like Martin's happy with this. As happy as one can be with 5 cards against a Thoughtseize Inquisition hymn deck.
As we are going to see Bayou, and we are going to see Thoughtseize number 1. Ha ha! Brainstorm, trump your Thoughtseizes. Hello. Hello, combo pieces.
Oh, someone's maybe going to get a little frisky. We might have a puncher this game.
Hey, that's what Brainstorm can do.
We have a Learning Imperial Recruiter.
That's a Coiling Oracle. Look at you, little Oracle.
Well, he can't cast it next turn because he has a fetch land. So unless he wants to break up his combo, he can't Oracle.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I also assume we're taking Oracle because Venser is
Not so much.
stanky.
Yeah, not so much. And we're going to read the Snake Elf Druid.
This is a game where actually Volrath Stronghold has the potential to do a lot of work in setting things up.
That's right.
Because all he really needs is the Allurn, and then the Stronghold can, even if he loses his Imperial Recruiter or whatever, he can get it all back.
Yeah. As we see, just a Misty Rainforest. Martin says go. We're going to see a Marsh Flats here from Matt. Now, would you have put that in a different order, perhaps?
What do you mean?
Maybe Imperial Recruiter, and that Imperial Recruiter is the first draw, Allurn is the second draw?
I think the upside to doing it this way is if you assume he's going to take Coiling Oracle with the Thoughtseize, that this blanks an Inquisition if that's his follow-up.
Well, it looks like he was going to slam it down. Okay, yeah, you can't try to re-slam after you blow it.
Right.
We're going to see a Hymn to Torak here. Now, the reason I want to do it is because of this card. It's because he can leave Allurn on the top of his deck.
Okay, so we are in the process of figuring out how we're going to randomize this hymn.
Yes.
I don't really know what we're doing here.
3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, middle.
He lost his Allurn in his Volrath Stronghold.
Yep.
So now Venser, Shaper, Savant is the hand.
Hanging out. Now, is there any chance you would have played Volrath Stronghold that turn instead of Misty Rainforest? Any chance at all?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, yeah, I mean, your Wasteland's still beating for you.
Yeah. We're going to see.
Oh, boy.
That's bigger beating.
Oh, boy.
Rough road ahead. Force of will.
Yep.
First draw.
Matt, come on.
Yeah. Lay off.
Go easy on me. I got a family. You know?
As we're going to see a... we're going to see either a discard spell over there. No, we're just going to see now the Reliquary.
I think we're just going to Wasteland lock him from here.
Yeah, thump. Force of will. That's going to be tough.
No, I'm sorry.
Kithkin Advisor says no and in for 2. An acquaintance of mine.
Yep.
Draw a card.
Ooh.
Put a Delta.
Ooh. We can recruit for Eternal Witness, I suppose.
Makes me a little bit stronger.
We're not going to... I mean, we can't not do it, right? It's the only castable card in our hand.
I think it's spellcasting time, yeah. I think it's...
Listen, he's just... If you
just
don't...
says go.
He's just going to take it from you.
Yeah. You have to do it. There's the Inquisition of Coastline. He's going to take it. Give it to me.
He's going to take it. He's going to take it, and then he's going to go Night for a Wasteland.
Yeah, that's going to go bye-bye.
An embarrassment of riches for Matt.
Yeah.
Might actually leave Martin permanent list. The junk perfect win.
Yeah. Flawless victory.
Yeah.
We're going to see another beautiful land here.
Yeah. The junk equivalent of the Sub-Zero freeze and then decapitate.
Yeah. There it is. High tied up a game. Take that, Patrick.
Yep. We can tell because it took a half an hour.
Yeah. And I got a feeling we're gonna be.
Might be settling in.
Yeah, I might have a feeling we're gonna be cutting over there soon too.
I hope Ruben Bresler over the sideboard has a really long interview in the file because we might be waiting a bit.
So here we go. Die doing something there. I'm not quite sure. And we're just gonna see the beatdowns happen here. Yeah, because even if he draws a learn, A, he doesn't have the land. Second, he can't cast it because of Gaddock Teague. And just nudge. Draw a card. What is that?
What is that? What did we just draw? What we got?
What are you? That is a mystery. It's got to be nice.
I think it's a Cavern Harpy. Oh no, it's a Cabal Therapy. Okay.
Take one. Try to take a card out of your hand, I guess.
What are you supposed to name here? I guess Maelstrom Pulse is the one card he could realistically have that matters. Like, theoretically matters, doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Not sure what got named here, but I assume since none of those cards mean anything. Yeah.
You know, we said earlier.
Yeah.
Can't be too proud.
Yeah.
Here they come.
Yeah. I would not have been able to resist the urge to Wasteland Lock him. I named Inquisition. Okay. Sure. Whatever.
I can't wait to see what this one is.
Yeah.
Rippy McPlucky. Allie
McPeel.
Allie McPeel herself. It is dream time.
Yep. And gets the Bayou back and gets to play it untapped.
Yeah.
Swinging back.
Yeah. Putting up a fight.
I would. Yeah, that guy's. Yeah.
Oh, no.
He can't decide between Pile and Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, too proud to swords.
Yeah, don't let it.
I'd really like to counter this, but I can't. This guy.
There you go.
Need my Dreamstalker. I'm out of here. Yeah, Abrupt Decay everything.
Yeah.
Matt Pavlic. Moving on to the finals, his suit, his tie, his beautiful deck, and those sideburns. We're going to see him at least one more time.
Yep.
With his gorgeous junk deck moving along, defeating Martin Goldman-Kirst. Martin, one round better this time.
Yep.
But not quite to
another
the
nice performance for Lauren.
Yep.
Sort of a fringe deck, and again, the combination of Underground Sea and Imperial Recruiter means it's out of the price range of a lot of players, but it's nice to see some of the decks on the fringe of the Legacy metagame make a nice showing in the hands of a competent pilot. So congratulations to Martin on a top 4 finish.